What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Frankie Bones, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down the Yankees Twins series from this past weekend. The Yankees with a shaky start, but end up coming back to split the series, continue on a great start to the season with a 4-0-1 start in the series, 10-6 overall. We'll go through each game, talk about a few highlights from each, then we'll go to a couple of key takeaways from the series overall, and then we will preview the rest of the homestand for the Yankees throughout the rest of this week. But before we get into it, if you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to drop a like. Let me know down in the comment section down below what you thought of this series, what you think some of the biggest takeaways from the series are, and how the Yankees are looking so far at the start of this season. So we'll start things off with Game 1, which was on the 13th on Thursday. The Yankees end up falling 11-2 to the Twins. The Twins have a massive outbreak in the first inning. They put up a 9 spot against Johnny Brito. He was just getting hit really hard. We ultimately find out that he is human. Locationally, I think that he was having some difficulties as well, missing a lot of his stuff up in the zone. Wasn't able to watch this game, but was listening on the radio. So pretty interesting to see the damage that was done to him. He only ended up going 2/3 of an inning. So, not going to cover too much about this. Obviously, a lot of that damage was done in the first. From the Yankees side, Anthony Rizzo had 2 solo shots, 1 coming in the 9th inning. So certainly, this game was far out of reach for a long time. The Yankees only had 4 hits in this game. Rizzo had 3. So definitely not a great start to the series, but we'll hop over to the second game, which was the next day on Friday. The Twins end up edging out the Yankees 4-3. The Twins take advantage late in this game, and someone will talk about Clay Holmes running into some trouble. Hasn't had the smoothest of starts to this season. Wouldn't say that he quite regressed to the form that he ultimately was in last year when he really was having those difficulties with location, tons of walks, tons of hit batters, but again, a pretty difficult start for him to the season. And, ultimately the Twins were able to take advantage of that. Correa and Garland both hit home runs off of Nestor. Really his only blemishes on the day after going 7 strong. And Correa was ultimately, noted Yankee killer, was able to get the job done in the top of the 8th against Clay Holmes. So flipping over to the Yankee side, a couple of positives here. Nestor Cortez again goes 7 strong. Gave up 2 solo shots, but his split was pretty good for today. Had his good stuff working, and I think he wanted to go out for to start that 8th inning. He was at around 95, 93 pitches, so ultimately was the right decision to not go forward with that. I think he also gave up a solo shot in the top of the 7th before coming out, so a strong outing from him. Flipping over to the offense, Yankees started out the game hot with a leadoff home run from Anthony Volpe, which would be his first major league home run. Super, super exciting for that. Another check mark for him on his rookie campaign. Judge followed it up with a homer as well for back-to-back. And the Yankees were rolling early. Nestor had his good stuff. Really thought that this game was one that the Yankees could have and bounce back in a good way from that 11-2 loss. But ultimately, again, Clay Holmes struggled. I believe it was a hit and then a walk, and then Correa brings home 2 with a double. So tough game to lose, ultimately having been in that lead car most of the way through the game, but it happens. Moving on to the third game, which is on Saturday afternoon. The Yankees take this game 6-1. Much better game from them overall. There was the fiasco with Domingo Germán having too much rosin on his hands. Rocco Baldelli certainly not pleased with that. He gets tossed, but Germán pitched really, really well. He went 6 1/3, 11 Ks. He was perfect through, I think, 5 innings, 5 1/3. I kind of forget exactly how far, but he looked really, really well. And I believe he gave up the 1 earned, but he did have a great start. And I think that the more consistent that Germán is able to get, he'll be a very useful piece for the Yankees, especially with Clark Schmidt struggling the way that he is to give them length or production. And ultimately we see that Johnny Brito is human in the first game of this series. So I think that it was a really important start for Germán to get back and rolling as we somewhat approach the return of Luis Severino and Carlos Rodon. Offensively, Higgy and Rizzo both have home runs. Giancarlo with 2 RBIs in this game, coming in the form of a double. And Anthony Volpe with 3 stolen bases. He continues to use that speed as an advantage on the base paths. Even if he's just getting on with a single, he's able to put himself in scoring position. And I think that this is incredibly valuable for this Yankees team, especially if he's going to be batting at the bottom of the lineup. Being able to put himself in a position to score when things flip back over to DJ, whether Bader's back up in that spot, Judge will be there, obviously Rizzo, Big G. And flipping over the Twins to talk about them a little bit, Trevor Mailey struggled a little bit. He only went 4 1/3. The Yankees were able to get to him early. Bullpen wasn't fantastic as well, but one key highlight, mainly for the Twins for this whole series, Byron Buxton continued to struggle. He had 4 Ks in this game. He really just had difficulties in the Bronx this weekend. Obviously a fantastic player. A lot of his issues stem from being on the field. I think the Twins came out and said that he will be their primary DH, which, gives them hopefully an opportunity to keep him on the field. His bat is electric. Lots of pop. He's fast. He's a good defender when he's out there, but again, when he is out there. And finally, moving on to the final game of the series, which happened yesterday afternoon. The Yankees take this game 2-0. And really the star today was Gerrit Cole. He went the distance, complete game, 10 Ks, 2 hits, and he's back. He is been absolutely phenomenal to start the season. We'll talk about him a little bit in the key takeaways, but down below a 1 ERA. He picks up his 4th win on the season, and he's just really dominating. His stuff has been great. His location, his mix of pitches has been great as well. Working quick, never really had a question of whether the pitch clock would affect him or not. Flipping over to the offense, DJ had a pretty solid day today. Went 2 for 4. He had an RBI single, and then he had a solo home run. So pretty much producing all of the offense for the Yankees. And 2 is able to get it done today with such an outing from Gerrit Cole. Talking a little bit about the Twins, Pablo Lopez sort of kept them in it. Over 6 innings, 2 earned, 7 Ks. The Yankees definitely had interest in him at the deadline. Last offseason, the Twins able to get him for this season to help bolster their rotation. He pitched well, but ultimately not going to be enough in the situation going against Gerrit Cole. And to wrap up the series, 3 more Ks from Byron Buxton. Again, he really just struggled in this series. I think the Twins really would want more from him. Correa with the production in this series for sure. And I think that they wanted a little bit more help from some of their second-tier contributors, I would say, overall. But breaking that down, again, loss, win. The Yankees drop the first 2, take the second 2 to tie the series, and bring themselves to a 4-0-1 series record on the season. Now we'll flip over to the key takeaways from the series that I had. I have 4 here. The first one is Giancarlo Big G. He leaves game 3 after, I believe, a single, or maybe it was on that double. He ends up leaving the game. He gets an MRI, and it's confirmed that he has a grade 2 left hamstring strain. Seeing on Twitter that to get him back to full strength typically will take about 4 to 6 weeks, which is less than ideal. Giancarlo was really getting rolling. In terms of his production, he was playing the field, I thought, pretty well. Mainly at home and right, but I think that he was really getting his legs under him, and definitely a bump in the road here for the team. We're going to have to figure out what to do with this lineup, how to get that production back, because he really was starting to heat up for this squad. And again, let's take our time with this. Still very early in the season, no need to rush him back for anything. The second key takeaway is that the bullpen is well rested for this upcoming stretch of games. The Yankees have off today on Monday when I'm recording this video. But after today, they'll have 16 games in 16 days. The Yankees only used 1 bullpen arm by way of Michael King for, I believe, 2 2/3 on Saturday. Obviously, GERRIT Cole goes the distance yesterday. So this bullpen will be well rested for that run. Some of these games on the road as well. So definitely a good opportunity to be able to use our high leverage guys and collect some of these wins that may be really important against teams that we especially should be beating coming up, just being able to solidify those wins. The third takeaway, I didn't want to put it too high just because it's been the whole season. It wasn't particularly in this series, but obviously it was. GERRIT Cole continues to be the early frontrunner for the AL Cy Young Award. Just to highlight some of his stats on the young season so far, he has a 4-0 record. He's a sub-1 ERA at 0.95, 32 Ks, 0 home runs. So this is a particularly important stat for GERRIT Cole. This is typically how a lot of the damage gets done off of GERRIT Cole. He has done a great job of mixing his pitches. His location has been great. I think that his game plan in games has been fantastic as well in terms of figuring out which pitches are really working for him that day and how to work around these hitters. He's always done a fantastic job of that, and he's really been eliminating these mistakes. And if he's going to be a horse like this, Rodon comes back healthy, Sevy comes back healthy, I think this could easily be a top 3 rotation in baseball. The last key takeaway that I want to talk about is that the Yankees continue to be aggressive on the base paths. I think that this is a very important element to this Yankees team that we have not had in the past few years. I think that it adds another dynamic. Yes, it might be the bases a little bit, but, it's a marginal difference for them being closer or not. It's also a mentality. You have guys like Glaber taking bags. Aaron Judge has been stealing bags. Anthony Volpe, obviously, is a guy who now has 6 steals on the season, and a guy at the bottom of the lineup that can really provide and generate some offense for you by just getting on base. He has a lot of walks. I think he has 8 walks so far in the season as well. When he's able to walk, get on base, and steal second, put himself in a position to score on a single from, DJ, who's a fantastic contact hitter. Another duck on the pond for Judge. Obviously, the danger is so large with Judge at the plate. Obviously, having another guy there, could be a 2-run shot. So I think just the aggression from the Yankees adds another element to this team and gives them a little bit of a boost offensively, where sometimes they've struggled with runners in scoring position, having runners on base and converting there, taking them out of double play situations. I think that this has been a great change in mentality for the Yankees. Harrison Bader will be stealing bases when he's back. So like that change. And then one quick side note as well. Didn't want to put it as a key takeaway, but Josh Donaldson looks to return on Wednesday off of the IL. So we'll see what ends up happening with Oswald Peraza. He came up when Judge went down. So in theory, Donaldson should be up on Wednesday after a rehab start on Tuesday. But we shall see what ends up happening there. What we'll do now to close out the video is just highlight quickly the 2 series that the Yankees have this week to finish out their homestand. I'll do a video on each of these recaps for both of them. Again, we have an off day today on Monday, which is good for the team. I think that it's good to regroup after that Twin series. Kind of a weird one. Again, they struggled early and really just allowed the Twins to win that second game. I think that there should have been a 3-1, which I think I highlighted in my previous video, but good opportunity to get right. Again, the bullpen will be healthy, regroup the mentality. The Yankees, starting on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, will host the Angels. A couple of key things here. The Yankees will not face Shohei Ohtani on the mound, which certainly is a good thing. He will be in the lineup, obviously, so he may still hit one out of the park. But for the Yankees, in terms of their starting pitching, we have Clark Schmidt, we have Johnny Brito back on the mound, as well as Nestor. And following that, for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I will be at the game on Saturday afternoon. The Yankees will have Herman, Cole, and Clark Schmidt once again. We see 2 of the Blue Jays' better starters, or the 2 best starters. We have Alek Manoah going on Saturday and Kevin Gossman on Sunday. So an absolute duel on Saturday. Really looking forward to that game overall. Again, the 2, I would say, favorites to come out of the AL East, and should be a showdown. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Appreciate all the support. If you guys are still here in the video, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you guys are new for more Yankees content coming in the future. But for now, that'll be it for the video, guys. This has been your boy Frankie Bones, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace out.